Hello students, welcome to our online class. Today we are going to study chapter number 2 climate of workbook international approach, and page number is 12 and 13. So on page number 12 our first exercise is you have to fill the gaps by using student book page number 33. You have to fill the gaps by using these words. You have to put all these words in the blanks. Like for example, look at the map showing Bangladesh and its river delta. So can you see why the country frequently suffers from flooding? So here are the other words. You have to put them in the blanks. On the next exercise, in the next exercise, they have discussed about conditional sentences. So there are some important points about conditional sentences. Conditional sentences always have two parts. One part of the sentence always begins with if, and it is always in present tense. So the sentence begins with if, always in present tense. And the second part of the sentence, conditional sentence, is always in future, and they tell us about the consequences in future. So first part of the, or one part of the conditional sentence will be in present tense, and the next part or other part of the conditional sentence will be in future tense. So the exercise is complete the example below to form full conditional sentence. So the first sentence is if the weather. So you can see if over here. Does the sentence start with if? Is shows us that it is in present tense. So the sentence begin with if is always in present tense. If the weather is good, now will shows us that it is in future tense. So it is telling us the future consequences of this present tense. So if the weather is good, tomorrow we will have a barbecue on the beach. So the next sentence is if I save some money from my part-time job. It's in present tense. So you have to write about future consequences of this. If I save money from my part-time job, I can buy new mobile, new laptop, or anything like this, or I can pay my fees or something else. So in the third sentence it is if dash. So as we know that sentence begin with if, it always comes with present tense. So you have to write a present tense. So first let's read the next part of the sentence. If dash, the animals will the animals will come out of hibernation. So this is the future consequences, that if something happened, that animals will come out of hibernation. So think about that, what will happen in present, in nowadays, what will happen, that consequences or that effects about on animals hibernation. So you may write that if the weather becomes more hotter, the animals will come out of hibernation. That if the weather become more hot, so animals have to come out from hibernation. So you can write over here in present tense, the weather becomes more hotter, the animals will come out. Or rest of the sentences you can do by yourself, like if the Arctic ice melts, the polar bear will. So if the Arctic ice melts, they are talking about present tense. The polar bear will, so the future consequences will struggle to survive. The polar bears will struggle to survive. So rest of the sentences you have to do by yourself. On the next page we have a topic, similes. So practicing similes, that let me discuss what are similes. Similes are basically to describe in detail, to describe something in detail, and we use comparison. So we compare two things to describe something in more detail. Like we have over here we have few words over here, like as hungry as fox. So we describe the hungerness of any person or any animal or anything with the wolf, because we know that wolf is always hungry. So we describe hungerness with wolf. So we are comparing some liking aspects, like something are similar in in a way. If some two things are similar in a particular way, so we can use them as a simile, or we can use them as a comparison. So as black as coal, as slippery as an eel, or as clear as crystal, as dry as bone, as solid as rock or stone, as light as feather, as old as hills, as white as snow, and as free as bird. So in the next sentence, what you have to write, open your student book, take out bushfire poem, and you may got the similes over there. Like first is already done, as red as a fox, so next is as red as your lips, or next could be as red as a cherry, or as hotter than lava, hotter than summer, African summer, faster than cheetah, as wild as lion. So you can write them. In the third exercise, what you people have to do, you have to write by your own. You can add your own similes, you can make your own similes. Like one of the sentences over here, as big as, so you can compare the hugeness of anything with bus, or with elephant, or with dinosaur, and any other thing you can, like as destructive as flood, as earthquake, or as any other thing you can write. It's up to you. So you have to do these pages